Welcome to the Planet Pearl video tutorial for duplicate stitch. Supplies are a swatch, a tapestry needle, and contrast yarn. I start by threading the tapestry needle with my contrast yarn. Now what we want to do in duplicate stitch is cover the V's that are the knit stitches. The stitch creates a V. So we're going to cover those V's with the contrast yarn. We're going to come up through the back in the base of a V. And this will be the first stitch we're going to cover. So leave a tail because you're going to weave that in, and always weave in under a like color. So I always wait and weave those in. So this is the stitch we're going to cover this V. So in order to do that, we go through the legs, both legs, of the stitch above, because when you knit, you're basically creating a nest of stitches within stitches. And if you ever drop a stitch and watch it run, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So we're going to do the same thing with this tapestry needle and yarn. So now we're going to go back through the same spot we started, and we're going to do a vertical line. Always best to go from bottom to top or left to right or right to left, but never from the top to the bottom. So we're going to pull through, and we're going to be careful not to make it too tight. We don't want to pucker our knitting, but you see we just created that first V. So now we're going to cover the second V. So we're going to go through or underneath both of the legs of the stitch above. Remember not to pull too tight. Back in through where we started that V, and then we're going to go up through the V, through the base of the V above it, because we're going to do another stitch in this vertical line. This is a great way, by the way, to cover little mistakes you might make in a Fair Isle pattern where you have one or two stitches out of place. So let's do one more here. We're going to go through both, under both legs. If you go a little too tight, pull it back out, because if it puckers your knitting, there's no fix for that other than cutting it out and starting over. All right, so here you see we've got this nice little row of embroidered stitches. So let's go over to the side now, and let's pick another V we want to cover. We'll come up through the base of the V. Pull, being careful not to pucker. This is our V that we're going to cover, so we'll go through the legs, underneath both legs above. And then back through where we started for that V. So let's go to the left again. And I'm right-handed, so I always go right to left. Left-handed people may want to do it left to right, so that they're not putting their hands over what they're currently working on. So let's look at the V we're going to cover and go through both of the legs of the stitch above. So we go underneath the legs and pull through. And let's go up one. So we'll go up into the base of the stitch above. And we'll cover that V by going through the legs of the stitch above. And when you're finished with this section, you just pull straight through to the back and you'll weave in your end. And that is how you do a duplicate stitch. And here's an example of a Fair Isle project where I used duplicate stitch to put a third color in this row with the green leaves. You can find this pattern on purlqueenpatterns.com. And here are my dogs, Chelsea and Tallybell, showing you what happens when you add a little decorative color to solid color projects. Come visit us soon at planetpurl.com.